Good morning. It's 10:25. I apologize for running a little bit late. I was on the phone. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you all for being here. And I'd like to call this meeting to order. Let the record show that we do have quorum, Commissioner Peña being absent. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't have any minutes, do we, Dennis?
No, we don't have a minute.
Okay. Claims, Ms. Guerra.
The claims are in order, and I recommend they be approved for payment.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. How are we coming along with the remaining claims, Ms. Guerra? Are we catching up
Yes, we are. We should have enough money to pay them.
for next meeting?
No, for this, after this one.
Okay.
We put, the majority of the claims are on this list.
Oh,
We
okay.
have a few left.
Okay, so hopefully by the next few days, they should all be paid?
Yes, by the end of the month.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Before we start with our department reports, is there anyone that would like to come before the court at this time? If not, we'll go ahead and go down our reports. Gas department,
Gas and transportation matter for, next commissioners.
okay, tax assessor. None too.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I placed before your desk there the report for October 2016, standard report that we've been doing for the last 10 or 11 months. The front cover, of course, is a recap of all collections and dispositions, including those to the county and to our contracted entities. And then I give you the standard breakout on the back pages. First one is for Starr County Maintenance and Operating. We did a payment to the Treasurer's Office for $1.2 million in round figures. We also submitted a payment to the Starr County FMFC on behalf of the Starr County FMFC account of $521,500. We had a $32,000 payment into the Starr County Interest and Sinking Fund and a $29,000 payment to the Starr County Drainage District. We collected a total of $105,845 in commissions and redemptions, and that was also deposited into the county treasury. And we did a disbursement to the Starr County tax, the delinquent tax attorneys for $31,001. Again, in comparing our activity for October of 2016 to October of 2015, this was a slower month, considerably. We did possibly 55 or 60% of the collections that were done last year. However, there's been an uptick in the November collections, so I'm more than certain that if you combine, once you combine the first 2 months, we will be doing okay. For some reason, some of the bigger entities that would always try and avail themselves of the 3% discount didn't come in before the end of October, but they have started to come in November, and the Treasury should do okay for the month of November on that.
And I'm sorry to ask this question, but have you been in touch, or have the new tax collector been in touch with you based on any presentation that you have done?
Yes.
To try to work or lead her through the process of the tax collections or whatever?
Yeah, we've met 3 or 4 times already. As a matter of fact, just last week, we had a loss of an employee in Roma, And so what I did was I called Almeida and I says, mira, we can't let this lag on until, you come in. Do you have somebody in mind that you would like for you to, to help you in Roma? She gave me a name. I went ahead and I processed that person to come in. I said, there's no need for me to put in somebody temporary that maybe might not be the person that you'd like to work with. So as a matter of fact, he's at our office right now training. If the Human Resources Office was able to put that name into the system for you all to consider this week, he should be on payroll beginning, this afternoon. And so no, we're working on that. We've given them, I'm leaving her basically templates of all the reports that we've been doing and stuff like that. So it should be a smooth transition, I think.
Well, I appreciate that, and hopefully that, you can work together to get her in. I know it's a new person and it's not gonna be easy.
No, it's gonna be hard. I mean, I remember when I first came in, I says, oh my God, Pero no, she's got good staff on board right now that'll be able to guide her and stuff like that. And so there shouldn't be any.
And we commend you, Mr. Cantu, for your efforts to have a smooth transition. After all, sometimes we forget that we all work for the same people,
Yeah.
people of this county. So, again, thank you for doing that.
There was a project that we were working on, and parece que se me va a acabar el tiempo, but I've kind of left it started for Almeida, and that's on the hotel occupancy tax.
Okay.
It appears that if we can go back to at least 2014, and the Industrial Foundation seems to tell me that pretty much none of the hotels ever paid anything
Exactly.
to it.
Yeah.
But even if we were just to be able to go back to January of 2014, because I'm pretty sure that they've been collecting it, they just haven't been depositing. We've got $127,000 in the kitty
Excellent.
through August of 2016.
Okay.
So hopefully, there's a way that and that's just going back to 2014.
Yeah.
I really don't know when it was that the hotel occupancy tax was first.
It was quite, I'm really bad at remembering dates, but I think it was before that.
Before that, well,
As far as 2000.
Yeah. So it was.
so possibly, there might be at least a couple of $100,000 or $250,000 in there that if the hotels collected that tax,
Yeah.
there should be no reason why they shouldn't be able
Well,
to.
even if they didn't collect it, they're responsible for it.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, they should have
I
collected
know,
it.
I know we tried in different ways. We tried going through the state, we tried going through the tax office, everyone said the tax office, but for some reason, no one ever collected. And I was budgeting around 45,000 every year for hotel
that.
tax. Yeah. So that's about right.
So hopefully, they'll be able to do something about that, and there'll be some additional dollars that the county can look at.
Excellent.
All right. If there's any questions on the report?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cantu. Treasurer, table that. Sheriff's Department?
Morning, County Judge, Commissioners, request to table the report till next meeting.
Thank you, Kevin. County Clerk, Mr. Gonzalez?
Judge, Commissioner, so that's my report in front of you all this morning. If you all have any questions? So, ask someone.
Any questions? Thank you. International Bridge, the report is also before us. If total collected was 211,165. This is an increase of 3860 from last month, and an increase of 6,884 of the same month last year. So it did go up some. That's good.
When did the collection came into effect? The hikes?
The last ones that we got some
Yeah.
from the pedestrians, I think November 1st?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I believe it was ratified to November 1st.
So it's not in this report?
No.
even though-
No, it's not on this.
It's for next.
This is for October. Any other question? Election administrator,
In front of y'all have the reports of the totals of all elections within the county, within the city of Roma, City of Juarez, School District, Riverside City, and the county elections, the general elections. Do you have any questions?
any questions? Thank you, John. Federal and state programs? Anyone federal and state programs?
That will be presented on our commission report.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to tables items A, B, D, E, and I.
Second.
Moved in second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 6, this is a action to approve an agreement between the County of Starr and Eloy Amador for housing inspections in the housing program. Mr. Amador came by and left his application, and I forwarded it on to Mr. Montalvo so they could review it, and I guess they're recommending that he do the inspections on the housing.
This is gonna be on a permanent employee or just
No,
by
no,
the
no.
house?
No, no.
For the project.
It's just for the project, by the house.
House by house?
Yeah.
Also
Second,
move to- Second.
Moved in second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. He is very knowledgeable in that phase. Item 7 is an action item, and this is to approve a resolution to support the South Texas Development Council in confirming the appointment of representatives from Starr County. I guess this is for the COG. The support, I guess, means the fee that we pay to him, and then the appointment of representatives.
Is it together, you know, or is it gonna be?
Well, let me take it one at a time. First of all, the participation, which is to pay the fees that are due to them.
Second.
Moved in second to go ahead and pay. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is to confirming the appointment of representatives. Had we already named someone? Okay.
No, they're due for appointment again.
Oh, okay.
And the last appointment was Commissioner Peña and Commissioner Sines.
Okay.
You want to say the same? I don't know.
I don't have a problem.
Okay.
I don't know. To
Second.
continue the same.
Moved in second to name Commissioner Peña and Commissioner Sines. Discussion? If not, all in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 is an action item, and this is to approve an agreement between Texas Office System and County of Starr. Mr. Cantu?
Yes, sir, I think in your packages is some information regarding my recommendation that we enter into a contract with the Texas Office Systems for the lease and maintenance of our postage system. The contract is up for renewal in a year. However, we were having a lot of troubles with the machine. If we go with Texas Office Systems, we'll still get a Pitney Bowes product, the same machine, and we'll have a $50 a month savings, which over the course of the 60 months amounts to $3,000. Plus, it's roughly about $6,000 that is owed on the lease. Texas Office Systems will pay for that. And so it's a win for us. We'll have I believe we'll have quicker maintenance on it because they're regionalized out of Corpus. They've come in and they've done some in-kind work for us. I have a gentleman here from Texas Office Systems. Would you like to
Yeah, just, use the podium, identify yourself for the record, please.
Sure. I appreciate your time. My name is Rocky Connor with Texas Office Systems, and we're a Pitney-Bowes partner or dealer as of 2013. And so we've been given the option to call on the existing Pitney-Bowes accounts that have been handled by Pitney-Bowes Corporate. And when I came to Starr County, I found that their equipment was not in the best of condition, so I had my tech come out at no charge to try and bring it back up, but it needs some pretty extensive work. So when we examined the contract, we determined that it would be better off to just issue new equipment. It would be a little bit more updated than what you have, and that we could provide you savings, like Mr. Cantu said, about $50 a month. So, and our machine is more designed to what your needs are too. I can go into detail, but
Like, one of the things that we eliminated was the machine that was sold to us 6 years ago included the capacity to print multicolored things on the envelope. We never did it. So I said, get rid of it, and just do the standard red, and so that saved us a little money.
When I do some more, I don't think it's a win-win.
I have a motion to approve. And second. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Item 9 is the action item, and this is on the compensation of election workers for 2016. Yeah.
The total workers payroll for the general election is $9,273 with 77 cents.
I do some more.
Second.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10 is an action item, and this is to amend the budget for precinct 7. Ms. Guerra, is that in order?
It's in order, Judge.
So moved.
Moved and second. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, well, let me see.
11 and 12.
And
11 and 12 are budget amendments. Ms. Guerra, are they in order?
yes, sir.
Move to pass.
Moved and second. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we go into executive session, I have a letter here from Mr. Canton. I guess it could be discussed under my report. When you want to tell us what this is about? It's on the swearing in.
Oh, yes, I don't.
Yeah, I sent a letter to Judge and Commissioners on November the 9th, and this was concerning the transition that we were talking about with Ms. Salinas. And basically what I was advising the judge and the court is saying that once the canvassing is done and the results are accepted, the swearing in can occur of the new person, since I was appointed to fill an unexpired term versus me not deciding not to run or whatever. And what I was recommending here was that if we could do the swearing in no earlier than November the 21st, that would give me until the 18th to finish up my reports and tie up loose ends, you know. And so that was the only thing. I'm not really sure at this point when exactly the canvassing is going to occur. I heard it could be between
Did John leave?
between the 16th and the 22nd. So
Something
if
like
that
that.
kind of happens, I think it would work, you know, to where if I'd be able to be in office through the 18th, that should give me enough time to do my bank
We're almost there.
reconciliations.
We're almost there, yeah. 3 more days.
Yeah, para lunes, yeah. Pero era que at one point,
Well, we haven't come with the election, it has to be next week.
well, okay, if that's the
Because
case,
not in the agenda, we're gonna have to wait until next week.
Yeah, or we could call a special meeting.
But, I
But
mean,
we can call a special meeting for next Monday, canvass, and swear in the JP and the tax collector.
okay, and that was it, that was the only thing, and then, of course, what I was saying was that would, make sure that the bonds would be in order, so that we don't have the problem that we had cuando hubo el primer transition.
Right.
And again, it's the 100,000, the $500,000 for South Texas College. And that way, once those bonds are in order, there should not be any problem with anybody.
Does Amanda know about the bonds? Have you all
Yes,
talked about it?
yeah, I talked to her, and she said, well, she told me that the 100,000 are in place already.
Okay.
And so the only thing we need to follow up is on the $500,000.
Okay.
so this is the county pays for it, no?
Yes, yes. Yeah, the county pays for it. The only thing is, the
Yeah, no,
the officials need to do the application.
I remember, Ms.
The
Guerra,
FTC pays for their bond.
I'm sorry, yes, an STC pays for their own.
if I recall correctly, one year, Ms. Peña, Carmen, her bonds were extremely expensive, and we said that the county would only pay a certain limit. Do you
And I
recall that?
think we did pay for the
We
whole
did?
thing.
Oh, anymore.
But here is
Yeah, we pay.
the different scenario, because
Yeah.
of was a record.
Yeah, we pay. No, pero era Carmen Peña.
¿Eh?
Era cuando Carmen.
Bueno, que te digo por eso, pero estaba porque she's
Yeah.
being denied all over the place.
Right.
Este es a totally different story.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that high.
Yeah, no, we pay for the bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to her about the bond. She asked me where she could get them, and I told her, there's.
Yeah,
Where did you get yours?
Yo le dije que I had gotten some con Garza Insurance, and then I also got some with Arnie Olivares. But some of my, some of the employees at the office have gotten them with Gonzalez also. So,
Yeah, most of them are Gonzalez and Garza.
yeah, there's basically two big bonding companies, and then they just act as brokers.
Yeah.
El señor Martinez that will be coming in for Roma, I sent him out on Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, he had his bond. So it shouldn't be a big problem. Of course, on the deputy clerks, it's a $5,000 bond no más. But
Who's coming in, Martinez? The Roma?
his name is Alberto.
Oh, okay, the young man.
Martinez.
The young man, okay.
Yeah, he'll be, when I interviewed him and everything, I didn't even realize that.
I thought he was an elected official.
No. He's a worker. His name's Alberto Martinez. He's a former school teacher. He actually is from Hebbronville, Texas. He went to school where I graduated from, except he's a little younger than I am. Yeah. He Rudy? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rendon. Anything else that needs to come before the court? If not, it is 10:45. Pursuant to section 551.074 and 551.071, we will go into executive session to discuss the order of salaries and to consult with attorneys on class number DC-166-514. Okay, it's 11:30 and we're back in open session. Had a couple of items in executive session. One was the order of salaries. Is there a motion? Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 14 on cost number DC 166-514. I'm asking the court to authorize me to contact Mr. Gilberto Hinojosa to see if he can represent us, and after I hear from him, I'll report back to you on it.
Move to pass. Second.
Moved and second. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move. Second.
Moved second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.